The man charged with sexually assaulting children at an Avon daycare earlier this month appeared in court today. Now he faces additional charges, including aggravated sexual assault and sexual assault in the 4th degree. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Annette Montgomery. More families are speaking about their experiences and the experiences of their children at that daycare. Fox
61's Alicia Hercules is outside Litchfield Superior Court now with the latest details. Alicia.
These additional charges stems from further review of the surveillance footage at the daycare in which officers identified 5 other victims. The attorney representing several of the families believes there could be many more victims.
It was never an isolated incident. We knew that from the beginning. It was part of a pattern and practice.
Eric Schoenberg is the attorney representing some of the families affected in the case. He says they're learning new details each day as more parents come forward.
We have a strong belief that there are a significant number of additional victims who have not had charges brought on their behalf. So
he says he's spoken with more than 70 families from the daycare. Prosecutors say they expect more charges to come as the investigation continues. John Carlos Barrios Otero is accused of sexually assaulting several children at a Bright Path daycare facility in Avon. During his court appearance, his attorney requested a mental health watch. Barrios Otero was also granted protective custody in jail to the displeasure of several of the parents in the courtroom. Schoenberg says this process has been a difficult one for the families.
For some families, it's the very beginnings of the healing process, but at the same time, it's difficult for other families who feel somewhat left behind at this point.
With the daycare set to close next month, he's encouraging any parents with concerns to reach out to him as soon as possible.
And I hope that the parents who are kind of frozen right now, which is a lot of them, who just don't know what to do, they reach out because we can all help each other.
The judge also had Barrios Otero look over several protective orders for those involved in the case. Any violation of those protective orders could result in an additional 10 years in jail. In Torrington, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
Thank you, Alicia. Well, now to an update we brought to you as breaking news yesterday. A Farmington man is facing multiple gun charges after police say a 10-year-old shot themselves with a weapon left inside a car. 19-year-old Jordan Cruz of New Britain was arraigned today. He's accused of negligent storage, illegal possession, and reckless endangerment. Police say the gun in the incident also had no serial number. A judge has set bond at $50,000, far below the $250,000 prosecutors requested. Cruz will be back in court May 19th.
All right, time to take a look at the weather now and get ready for the rain. We got clouds rolling in. They will hang around until tomorrow morning. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank is joining us now with the first check of the forecast. Rach, what are we looking at?
Yeah, I feel like we've been talking about this rain for the last 3 days, but that's only because the weather's been so quiet. There's been nothing else to talk about, just how beautiful it is. I mean, I do like talking about that too. It will also start to turn cooler beginning tomorrow and lasting right into this upcoming weekend. But here is that rain, and we are expecting about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch of rain starting later tonight after 7 to even midnight. So it'll begin pretty slowly first in western Connecticut, but it might not be until the overnight that it moves in for far eastern areas. So you still have time tonight to get out, run errands without getting wet, take the dog for a walk. Temperatures will be falling back through the 40s overnight, so we stay well above freezing. And it will still be a wet start to the day tomorrow with some lingering showers, but I'm not expecting any significant issues for the morning commute. Otherwise, it is a cloudy day and cooler too, 10 degrees cooler with highs in the 50s. We'll talk about what that means as we step into the weekend. Your full forecast is coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Well, Hartford police are looking for whoever shot and killed a man earlier this morning. Officers say they found 43-year-old Alfredo Cuellar unresponsive on Rowe Avenue around 1:45 a.m., and he later died at a hospital. Please call Hartford Police if you can help with that investigation. Now, a few hours before that, Hartford Police responded to a shooting on Westland Street. Investigators tell us a 19-year-old woman was shot around 9:30. Officials say she is expected to recover, and it's unclear at this point what led to that shooting.
We'll take a close look at your screen. Tonight, state police need your help locating this man they say broke into someone's home. He's believed to be involved in a suspicious incident back on Monday, April 20th, around 8 p.m. involving a home in Tolland. Police say security cameras were installed at that home after that house was previously targeted in a separate burglary back in February. If you have any information that can help with the investigation or recognize this man, please contact state police.
All right, take a look here at this new video we got of a smash and grab from last Friday. Wethersfield police say 3 men went into the K Jewelers on the Silas Dean Highway. One of them acted as a lookout while the other 2 broke some glass cases and stuffed a bag with jewelry. They all left in a black Hyundai Elantra with dark tinted windows and no license plate. Police say they are still looking for those thieves this evening.
A motorcyclist was hospitalized overnight after a crash in Bristol late last night. It happened just before 11:30 in the area of North and Federal Streets. Bristol police tell us a motorcyclist hit a utility pole and street sign, which resulted in that road being closed for several hours. The motorcyclist was taken to the hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Right now, it's unclear how that crash happened, but the road has since reopened.
And North Haven police arrested a man who they say stole a car, drove away from a traffic stop twice, and even used the stolen car in a separate theft. Police say 30-year-old Osvaldo Beard Beltran stole the car back in March and even admitted to it over the phone, but then drove away from a traffic stop. Police say he used the car to take part in a theft in West Haven a month later. He tried getting away again before being stopped on I-91. Beard Beltran is facing a long list of charges in each of those incidents.
Tonight, one city is cracking down on out-of-city vehicle registrations, and as a result, leaders in West Haven say they have already recouped a few $100,000 in revenue.
Now, they say this program has helped them get tax money that would otherwise be lost from people not registering their vehicles with the city. Fox 61's Jamel Johnson shares how much this program has helped West Haven so far.
It took a year to get the motor vehicle registration compliance program ready to go in West Haven. But since its launch, the city has seen significant success in catching those not paying West Haven vehicle taxes. So far, more than $300,000 of lost revenue has been recouped. The city works with Capital Tax Recovery of Berlin, a company specializing in finding unregistered out-of-city or out-of-state cars. In just about a year, they found more than 1,300 cases of missing tax revenue from around the city. After the company gathered data, Mayor Dorinda Boer said they followed it up by sending delinquent letters to car owners. That led to a large influx of people coming in to register their cars with the city. If the city didn't receive their registration after the letter was sent, they started to boot cars through the delinquent tax boot program, which netted them more than $500,000 in additional revenue. Mayor Boer says all of the money goes to investing back into the city's infrastructure, school system, and emergency response force.
First of all, we recognize people fall on hard times. And secondly, we recognize that there's a lot of logistics if you move to a city. So you want to avoid that at all costs, because now you come out of your house and you can't use your car. And again, we don't want to do that to folks. They may need to get to work or they might need transportation. But again, we can't provide those services without them paying us. Those are the rules, those are the laws, and we're going to follow them.
We asked dozens of people in West Haven how they felt about the vehicle registration compliance program. No one wanted to go on camera, but the common consensus seems to be people agree with the program and believe letting people not pay those vehicle taxes is unfair to those doing the right thing. In West Haven, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.
Jamel, thank you. New York City's airports are getting vehicle tracking transponders. It's happening in the wake of that deadly crash at LaGuardia in March, when an Air Canada jet that was landing crashed into a fire truck on the runway. Both pilots were killed. 39 others were injured, including the 2 firefighters in the truck. The transponders will allow air traffic controllers to see where those vehicles are on a map, and the system will also sound an alarm if a collision is about to happen. Newark's airport has been testing this technology since December.
Right now, the Office of Management and Budget called for urgency in Congress to pass a funding bill for the Department of Homeland Security. And this also comes as the House inches closer to an agreement on how to fund the department. Chad Pergram has more from Capitol Hill.
The resolution is adopted.
After hours of negotiations, the House green-lighted a framework to fund the Department of Homeland Security. The test vote also included steps toward reauthorizing the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, or FISA. It initially faced GOP opposition. Republicans Tim Burchett, Andy Biggs, and Harriet Hageman voted no at first. Anna Paulina Luna voted present.
So they took 3 of the most controversial, biggest issue bills and put them all together, which is a terrible idea.
Holdouts eventually fell in line with the rest of the party. The White House warns that funds for TSA from President Trump's executive order are running out. That could lead to more staffing issues at airports ahead of the busy summer travel season.
The Secret Service, the Coast Guard, FEMA, TSA at risk once again of not getting paychecks.
Many Democrats maintain they are open to legislation funding most of DHS while working out new restrictions for ICE and CBP.
We have to make sure that we see the language on this and that it's all above board.
Republicans are still firm on funding the entire department. They cite the assassination attempt of President Trump at the White House Correspondents' Dinner over the weekend. The gunman shot a Secret Service agent, but the bullet lodged in a protective vest.
If you had a Secret Service agent who wasn't being paid, shot, point-blank range, what is their response to that?
It could take a few more weeks for the House and Senate to align on a bill to fund DHS. On Capitol Hill, Chad Pergram, Fox 61.
A former FBI Director James Comey surrendered to law enforcement today in Virginia. Comey was indicted yesterday on charges related to a social media post he made last year. That post featured a picture of seashells on a beach that formed the numbers 8647. The DOJ says that was a threat against President Trump, the 47th president, with 86 being interpreted often as slang for kill or murder. Now, Comey faces charges of making a threat against the president and transmitting a threat in interstate commerce. If convicted, he could face up to 10 years in prison. This is the second time Comey has been targeted by justice officials under President Trump.